cheers to you. This is Thursday recap.
You're so good at that.
Anyway, today's Thursday. I'm doing a little recap. I'm Deborah Von Dunnup, interior designer. This is my friend Jana. Jana is the trim queen, fondly known as. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Design Influencers Conference. We both attended last year in Los Angeles, and we have a lot to say about that. And also, it's occurring this year in Atlanta. It's going to be in February 24th. And we just want to talk a little bit about, well, what can you expect from the Design Influencers Conference?
I mean, what we're going to do there, right?
Yeah, we have a surprise. So it's really the only design conference in the marketplace, really, that I know of. There's a lot of conferences you can go to about social media and other things, but focused on design,
right.
brands and interior designers, the only one I know of right now, right?
Right.
That's good.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Jana has a call. Anyway, so we wanted to talk a little bit about what happened last year, what were some of the benefits. If you didn't have a chance to attend, we found a lot of value in it. And, like any conference, it really is about, you really have to be somewhat responsible about what you go out and you seek in a conference.
Deborah, I think
I'm not very good at that. I just throw myself in, and I just walk away and say, okay, what happened? But some people are really methodical about it. Yeah, see, that's why she's here.
You know what? I've been going to High Point for 20 years, and I find that with a finite amount of time, I need to be really directed and strategic about how my time is used. But I did that. Now, last year was the first Design Influencers Conference that I ever went to, and I think it's really great this year that they changed the name from Design Bloggers Conference to Design Influencer Conference.
Yeah, it's true.
Because influencers aren't necessarily bloggers, and I think it broadens it, so I think that's excellent. I mean, it was that anyway, they just changed the name to that. But my point is, there were people that I knew from social media that I was really, once I knew they were going to the conference, I set a meeting time to meet them. There was, for example, Lori O'Sullivan from Fabricate.
Right.
I had met her, the marketing department. I do some work for that company, and I got to meet her there. We set up a time and a place, so I'm very...
You're so organized. I didn't do any of that. But I did meet Leslie Newby with Ultrasuede, who she's
and
so
Nathan
lovely.
Anthony.
And Nathan Anthony was there, which is such a great line out of California.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. And then Sarah, your friend Sarah from Chicago was there.
Sarah Montgomery.
So she won a scholarship, actually. She was one of 8 people that Lamps Plus supported to come to the conference. Yeah. So that was a great effort by Lamps Plus to bring some new people, some young designers. Yeah. And I just connected with her in Chicago, Sarah Montgomery. I went to Chicago for monogram training for 4 days, kitchen appliances GE. Invited us up there. I was there with Carla Aston, and I know that was because I was at the Design Influencers Conference.
See, I
had that opportunity present itself to me.
It was
so
fun. Amazing, and I want to kind of circle back because I know Abby McCollum from Scripps is coming again this year, and she's the social media director.
Yes.
And some of her presentation last year was really influential to me because she talked about choosing your channels, and she talked about, and it worked actually, because she said, well, if you want my attention, I'm putting my son to bed and I'm kind of scrolling through stuff. Don't use sound, and you use text underneath, and you need to tag me. And when you tag someone, it's just like a little tap. So I tweeted some of her quotes, and I tagged her.
She responded, didn't she?
She did, and I went to meet her. I said, well, I want to introduce myself. She said, oh yeah. It's like a warm lead, when you're tapping someone in social, it's like a warm lead.
And she's coming back this year. So
I'm so excited.
Oh, well, there's so many people to be excited to see. Yeah. I think also Universal has been a really strong supporter of this conference for a long time. I think Neil is definitely at the top of his game when it comes to marketing and working with influencers. They're definitely a leader, and we're really excited to see them again.
Yeah. So I heard that Carson Kressley
he's so cute.
is going to be one of the keynotes.
Yeah.
Barry Dixon, who I'm a huge fan of,
Such
very excited.
A gentleman, handsome,
Talented.
Yeah, he's talented too. Okay, I'll throw that in there.
Okay.
But he's great eye candy.
Yes. Well, you know, he's a lovely person, and I've met him several times. He's so talented. I'm really excited to see Sophie Donaldson.
Yes.
On the scene, and I can't wait to hear what she's going to talk to us about.
I know.
Because that was a big shakeup there. So, yay, Sophie. We can't wait to see you.
Little reflection always tells a good story, so it's going to be a good one. Yeah, there's just so many opportunities that you don't even realize at the moment that you're standing there.
Right.
But as the year progresses, you continue your communication and things come up. You're actually, as a designer, top of mind to a lot of people that you want to interact with. And this face-to-face time, this community opportunity, that to me is the key. Yeah.
I also wanted to point out that there are 2 tracks this time. So
thank you. Yes.
High Point Market has sponsored the brand track, and that is, having people from the brand side come to learn how to work with influencers, and there's a whole track for them. So I think that is really exciting, and I looked at the content. I'm super interested in that. Then there's the influencer track. So it's not that you can't dip into one or the other, but I think that it kind of subcategoried so people can choose a lot of content.
Full disclosure, so I'll be speaking on the influencer side to designers about how to monetize their website. This is a part 2 of what we talked about last year. So I'm coming back in with part 2, but I'm really excited about this brand track, and I know that you're going to be speaking in that. And this is a real opportunity for brands to learn how to outreach to designers.
Right.
And how to operate with them to the best potential.
Yeah, so I'm working with Mary Lee Howell, who also works with Universal, and we're doing a part 1 and part 2 of keys to building a successful brand and influencer relationship, because it is so...
It's like a black hole right now, and it's very, unless you're working with an agency that does this every day, it is very hard for a team to grasp it, and so it's great. I think this is a great opportunity for social media managers, marketing teams, and even people that pay these teams to have an opportunity to learn more about this relationship and what the benefit is. I'm amazed at how many people do not understand what analytics are really to your favor.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I mean, and what should be asked, and what is that engagement? That's kind of like the big secret one. Right. And it should be the first one. Just saying.
Yeah. But, and in ours, we really break it down to both sides. Like, what's contractual? Like, what do you own? What do they own? What about the photography? What do rates look like? All that. Important. And it's still kind of the Wild West, so there's lots of really variables. But the more you can get down in a letter of agreement, the better you can move forward.
I think it's great, and I think this opportunity of a influencer to work directly with the brand it's great. It's more profitable for the influencer, and it's also cost effective for the brand to have these relationships. And so learning for a brand to know how to pick 6 or 8 people to work with through the year is something they're really going to learn, and I think they're all trying to do it.
Yeah, and I learned from Mary Lee, from her part of the presentation, about how they decide who's in that mix. I think that's really interesting, so we're going to talk about that. But I did want to say,
not always a big number.
No, it's not.
Aspects. Hello.
So that
influencers.
That happened to me, or micro influencer, when I was chosen to be in the Design Bloggers Tour at High Point. I was like low man on the totem pole, and I remember going like, wow, this is so interesting. Like, why? I never asked them.
Huge engagement.
But I have big engagement, so and I have a particular point of view. So I'm not an interior designer, but I do have a design blog, and I specialize in embellishment. So sometimes like niching, is really important. So
and brands recognize that point of view too, I think, which is really great. Anyway, so
if it fits.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the party yet. So the party's a lot of fun. They call it the meet and greet. I just call it meat market, because you're really you're gonna
body stand.
Yeah. You're gonna bump into like people that become your friends. Really.
Yeah.
Like we partied at Lori Dennis's house last year.
That was such a Cali experience.
It was great.
That was
It was
really
great.
fun.
And Adam was in his element too, I must
Was,
add.
yes.
And I had a great
Lot of
taxi
vino.
ride back afterwards with him, and also Michelle. So that was a lot of fun. But also, it's just having that opportunity to meet them and realize, hey, she's a really cool lady.
Right.
I really like her. She's accomplished a lot,
Right.
and I'm just more inspired from her from that one-on-one interaction
Yeah.
with her.
Well, I also think, like, as fun as everything looks, and we try to make things look fun, this really comes down to business. And,
Yeah.
I even tell my daughter, like, when she tells people that I'm a designer or attorney designer, like, I'm really a businesswoman first. So I did want to say about your presentation last time, I really loved about it, how to monetize that website. Seriously. But what I loved about it, too, is that after the conference, these slides were available. So, like, I wasn't writing copious notes. I mean, I was
Yes.
doing some typing and taking notes, but then I
Thank you
could
for
go.
noticing that. I think it's important. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was great to have all these slides. And so, as a presenter this time, I'm going to make sure, my slides aren't just like pretty pictures, but there's going to be a
Something
lot of
there for them.
information
Right.
on there so people can circle back. I
Right.
think that is
Yeah, I
super
just have to
important.
say something. So I've been to conferences and events, and I walked away like, I needed tools, I need an action plan, I need to know what to do, and I felt like I wasn't getting that sometimes. So I can only speak for myself and for you maybe, but when I go there, I want to give to my community as much as I know and all the things that I know. There's no secrets. It's all there because I want us all to grow together, and I would
Yeah.
hope somebody does the same for me. So
Yeah, I feel like there's a
thank
lot
you
of
for noticing that.
there's
I
a lot
really
of
try.
camaraderie there.
There
and
is.
There's a lot of support. And P.S. like everybody needs content, So if you are creating content, there is still not enough content to go around. So I don't see people as direct competitors. I feel like we all have our own certain lens. We bring our own point of view to the table, and if the fit is right, it's right. But it's also, the onus is on you to go after that and to make those connections. So, I'm.
All right, so I'm going to claim a goal.
Yeah.
My goal
Ooh.
attending this year, one of my goals will be, I'm going to have a goal going in, is to create a community. I really want to
Okay.
walk away with a community of people that we're there to help each other. We have strategies that we work on, and we're there to build each other and grow.
Like accountability partnership.
Right.
Okay.
So whether it's working with social media managers that just want to know better how to work with designers like us or how to find us, or if it's a group of interior designers and we all just want to like lift each other up and be there for each other every week with some kind of goal. I'm not sure, but I know that I want to do something community table based.
Okay. Love it. Can I be in your community?
Oh, please. You might have your own table though. I know that people are going to be signing up. Put me with Trim Queen, please.
No.
And I have another designer who's maybe joining
cool.
us to be
So,
announced.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
My goal is to really, I have a travel project that I'm working on, and it got pushed forward, meaning that something that happened at Design Bloggers told me that it was the right thing to do, and I was on the track. A very VIP gave me some
She was
feedback.
crying. She was so excited.
I
You
went to
were.
my room and I cried.
I
was
saw
so
you.
because it was such
happy.
like a passion project of mine, and I'm trying to move it forward. Meanwhile running a business, and but I did take some big steps recently that is moving me towards that goal. So I really want to have, after this, like a better plan for me to bring that to fruition, and how I can do that through media.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my plan. That's
And
my
finding
goal.
the right people that appreciate it and realize it. And I think there's a lot of
Right.
that maker creator on your site. We see that maker
Yeah,
creator
yeah.
site. You can sign up if you want to be notified later.
But I also need some strategies for sponsorship.
This
and
is
that
the
it's not
golden
just,
ring.
I mean, I can get 10 people to sign up, no problem, to come
Right,
with me
right.
to Italy. But, I need to delve into like how sponsorship and promotion works a little better.
So this is a place, I think, because you're busy doing your business and making money and being accountable for your clients. But going to a conference like this, I'm hoping is going to open more doors like it did last year.
Yeah, it did.
To complete that story for you.
Right. So I did want to share too, like when you think about monetary investment, is that directly from the conference, I did get a couple of speaking engagements and I had a speaker fee, and I just worked with a friend of mine and I'm putting together like a real rate card, like a little media card.
So that's kind of exciting.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's it's just professionalism and accountability and moving forward, and I think this conference gives me some headspace to stop and really think about my business in those terms.
Well, we hope you'll join us, and that gave you some idea, but I know that we're going to come back and maybe share a recap of what actually occurred there. There'll be lots of recaps on social media if you don't already follow Jana. She's the Trim Queen.
At Trim Queen.
But she's at Trim Queen. And you'll see her on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I love your YouTube channel.
Thank you. And your DVD interior design.
I am.
Okay.
Also on YouTube. So any questions or comments, we would love to have some from you. If you have anything you want to ask us, we'll be responding to your comments. And we look forward to our next Thursday recap. Cheers.